Well, a couple of counters to keep an eye on when the market opens today, and starting off with the biggie itself, Reliance Industries, which will be in focus, as some clarification has come from the management stating that they have denied capping the gas prices for the outstanding gas. So keep an eye on that counter. Yesterday it was down by about over 2%. And moving on to Hindalco, company's subsidiary Novelis has announced price hike of about €160 per ton. The price hike is for automotive aluminum sheets in Europe, and remember, this is the third price hike which has come by Novelis in FY14, so you could see some positive reaction coming in there for Hindalco today. Moving on to Sun Pharma, well, Hikma Pharma has raised the guidance for doxycycline drug. Remember, Sun Pharma will gain because of its subsidiary URL has about 18% market share for this particular drug, so keep an eye on Sun Pharma as well. Moving on to Jain Irrigation, company is planning to sell its wind power business, and the sale of wind power business may cut the foreign currency debt of the company by about $10.5 million. So keep an eye on that counter as well. Yesterday that was down by 1.5%. And lastly, keep an eye on Mangalore Chemical, a counter which was up by about close to 10%. Well, Zuari Fertilizer, they have raised their stake by about additional 3% yesterday. Their total stake now stands at about 13%, and Zuari Chemical now is the third largest shareholder in the company.
The Tata group of companies were most buzzing in trade, and amongst the most active were Tata Steel, Titan and Tata Coffee. So Tata Steel slumped 2% and breached its 52-week low to touch the lowest level seen in the last 4 years, where the volume action too was the highest in the last 2 weeks. And the fall came primarily on the back of downgrade by CLSA on the stock to sell from underperform, where its target price was also cut to 215 from 310 due to the weak rupee, which is seen burdening its foreign currency debt, as well as the Indian business, which is unlikely to benefit from the weak rupee because the Asian steel prices have bottomed, and also that the local demand supply situation is pretty weak right now. Titan too, that one rose more than 4.5% and saw its biggest percentage gain in more than a month, extending its gains for the 5th straight day, and it turned out to be the top gainer on the BSE 100 index, with volume action too the highest seen in the last 1 week. Now the stock continues the advance on the back of Goldman Sachs upgrade, which had raised it to buy from neutral, as it sees that the company is sufficiently capitalized to purchase gold without much leverage. Also that it has a very capital efficient model, and the policy of hedging gold is protecting it from the sharp swings that we've seen in due to the currency. Lastly, Tata Coffee, that was up more than 7.5%, with volume action too here the highest seen in the last 1 month, as it turned out to be the top gainer on the BSE Midcap Index, and overall analysts are saying that the outlook remains very healthy for the stock. The weak rupee will aid the company's earnings because international revenues as well as the export revenues form the bulk of its overall revenues, and the company is also now scouting for attractive buyouts to maintain the growth momentum to turn it from the commodity segment into the FMCG segment. That is why we saw all these stocks buzzing in trade.